Hello, everyone. This is a friendly internet basilisk, and this is a brief review of the new 2024 Player's Handbook. I'm going to compare it with the 2014 handbook, but just a brief overview. I'm not going to show any of the content over here just for my own safety, so the Pinkertons don't get sick on me. Now, the first thing I want to say about this review is that we are already seeing the new attitude of this new Great Reset if you decide to adopt the new Player's Handbook, the DMG, and the Monster Manual. Is that D&D is going to be a very player-centric type of game. Comparatively to its previous, its previous edition, the 5e, moving into this player's handbook, it definitely has a lot stronger characters moving forward. So at least we know where the priorities are when it comes to Dungeons and Dragons, and moving forward with their like player centric sensibilities. Now, I want to talk briefly about the pros I like about this new book. There is a lot of new art. They actually have art for every class and subclass of characters that you have. You and I really like this. They also have art for weapons and armor. It really helps visualize those things, and even if you just do a printout and hand those over to the players, it's very helpful to help visualize what these armor and weapons actually look like. There's also a really nice rules glossary on the player's handbook. Very nice for quick reference. It's all alphabetically organized. And the other thing is that the weapons and armor and even the equipment that you can buy on this player's handbook, I do like that there's more of a description, especially for the tools. There's more applications that they can be used for. Now, I want to talk about the cons because I like being negative about this book. Look, when I said that this book is going to be very player centric, this book is also, I think, very digitally centric because player creation is harder than it is now compared to the 2014 version. Why do I say this? Well, in this new edition, you now have four major choices that you have to make when you're creating a level, at least just a level 1 character. You have to pick your class, your species, your background, and now an origin feat. All four of these things are going to affect your player character moving forward. And as I said, it almost feels like you definitely need a digital tool to make this much easier on yourself. Even I, as an experienced DM, still fumbled. Like, I still had a very hard time doing this pen and paper. Like, doing any sort of character creation, especially for higher level PCs, is going to be much more difficult. Like, moving forward, there's a lot more. Each of your classes and subclasses have so many things going on them. There's going to be a lot more feeds. There's going to be a lot more just stuff for your players to have to like note down if you're doing pen and paper. So that's just one of the big things that you have to watch out for. The other thing is that even though I praised a lot of the art of the player's handbook, I can't help but feel disappointed by it because the art just feels very sanitized and pretty compared to even just the 2014 version. I know that there's not a lot of like blood and gore that's displayed in either one of these two books, but I feel as though like a lot of the depictions on the player's handbook when it comes to like classes and subclasses especially are really lean in more into that very high heroic fantasy type of thing. In my opinion, a lot of the characters here look a little too pretty. But that's just my thing. I know there's a lot of players that like having pretty characters, but to me, the art the art direction of the player's handbook is just leaves me a little wanting, but that's me just wanting a more grim and gritty experience. Here's another thing that you're going to have to worry about if you are going to move forward with this PHB. There's going to be variant rules, such as feats and multi-classing. Those are just part of the new rules now. This is why I say that DMing this edition is going to be much harder, because you can't just say, no, like, there's no multi-classing, there's no feats. It's just there. They're just part of the core rulebooks now. If you don't believe me, look at the 2014 version, and it's going to both say that feats and multi-classing are both optional. So, that's something that is very good for the players, but for DMs, it's going to be a little hard. There's also, and this next part is going to just be like a minor nitpick. In the background section, there's a blurb missing that's actually in the 2014 version, and I don't know why they omitted this. Where there's a variant that says, hey, you can actually switch out some of the skill proficiencies that you get from here. I think even there were a couple more things that you can switch out of it. It's missing in the 2024 version. There's no switching out any of those skills, and there's not even switching out the feats, so you have to house rule it yourself. I'm not sure why they did this. I think that was just like a pretty big oversight, but if you're going to house rule it, that's not going to be a big problem. And one last thing, this new player's handbook, I still don't know why they haven't done this. They don't have a spell index. They don't just have like a master list of spells with all of the page numbers associated with those spells, just so you can find them easier. You still have to like flip through the book to find the spell that you're looking for. It's been 10 years. They still haven't done that. I still don't know. So, to conclude this review, this player's handbook is just showing that Dungeons and Dragons is moving towards a more player-centric game. I hate to say this. This is one of the reasons why there's a DM shortage in this game, because this game is very, very, very catered towards players. For DMs, so Lord have mercy on you, because you still need this player's handbook as a DM to run the game. Unfortunately, it kind of sucks. You need the book, and the DMG, not so much. But again, player-centric game moving forward. It's going to be harder for you to DM this, but for players, you get a lot more. You just get a lot more options, a lot stronger characters than the 2014 variant, even with the new supplements that were added for the 2014 version of the game. So, with that being said, hopefully these 3 reviews will get you caught up on my thoughts on this new edition. And so my next couple of videos are likely going to be about just tabletop RPG concepts, and we'll see where we can go from there. See y'all.